Hi folks, it's Rich Shea again. I thought I'd do another unboxing of Vladimír Suchý's The Prodigals Club from Czech Games Edition. I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but I got it at a decent price, and it was an interesting, well-rated game, kind of game that I usually like. So let's take off the plastic and ignore the sketchy artwork. Alright, so inside this game, new box smell. Oh, Galaxy Trucker is now digital. That's exciting. An ad for Spielbox. And the rules. It's an overview. Apparently you can go watch an overview video to learn how to play, for those who don't like to read rules. But the fact of the matter is the rules are colorful. A lot of text, examples. You can see that there's, let's slide over a little bit. There's a lot going on in the game. It's possible to play 3 different sub-games. They recommend that you start by playing 2 of them, any 2, before you go on to all 3. I guess serious gamers maybe would go for all 3. There are cards, bunch of tiles, player boards, marking things, and then a lot of explanations. You'll use top hats. I think we'll see them later, 5, 4, or 3, depending on the number of players. And you'll start with different amounts of money, apparently different cards, and for the political game you'll start with a different number of votes at the beginning. You also start with a different popularity setting. Oh, this is how much money that you have to start with, right? Yes, okay. Then it explains how the round works. There's dealing out cards, assigning your hats. I guess they represent errand boys, to get cards and take actions. Some of them are on the central board that are common to all the games. Apparently there's some symbology that you'll have to be familiar with, and that'll affect how things work. Then there are each of the separate competitions. Possessions, much like the original game, Last Will, you try to dump all your money in possessions as close as you can to try to win the game. However, there's also an election competition where you're basically trying to lose the election by annoying different political circles and making bad speeches. And the third competition is a society competition, where you basically try to get 4 prominent members of society to hate your guts by moving down in their estimation by taking different actions. Unfortunately, your aunt, Dame Beatrice, keeps trying to make you sound better than you are, so you have to dodge her compliments, otherwise you'll be going up in the world, the last place you want to be. You end the round, determine orders. There's 5 rounds, that's how many fingers that is, in a game, unless somebody reaches 0 points in one of the competitions. However, the winner is the person with the lowest, highest score. In other words, you take your highest score in any of the competitions, and that's your final score. So getting to 0 first might be bad. It might actually lose you the game. So you want to be careful. But it's over after only 5 rounds. You can combine the game with Last Will if you want to. Obviously that changes the setup. I think it replaces the possessions competition with the more complicated and detailed Last Will. On the back page, there's an explanation of all the different things that can happen on the cards, scoring moves, basic effects, triggered effects, combos, some other combinations, and other card effects that you might need an explanation. Some of the moves that happen are a little bit complex. So let's go on to the cardboard. These are possessions. So possessions have a coin value and a cute picture. A dog's only worth 1, same as the artwork, and I guess that's your shoe collection. But your art collection is 2, and of course your estate is worth 3. Your yacht is worth 2. These are the tracks for the tracks for going down in the world. Positions can give you symbols during the game, so being at certain points is important, though you generally want to tend downward. And although the game ends at 0, you complete that round, so it's possible to end up in negative territory. And of course, your score in this section is your combined score of all 4 tokens. So even getting some of them down to negative, you might still have a positive score. As you can see, the die cutting is pretty good. This is already coming apart. Excellent. This is the society board. Cards go on it that you can select. Other actions involve moving down on the tracks, and I guess Aunt Beatrice's card is there, so that you'll have a chance to outmaneuver her. This is the political actions one. Again, as with all the others, cards and cards with actions, just actions. And there's also a Hyde Park, which in England is a place for free speech. In other words, you go there and say something dumb. And whoever says the dumbest things, well, actually you get these megaphone markers. Whoever says the dumbest things loses some votes. The possessions track, the possessions board is the same thing, where you places for your hats to take cards. You can swap possessions that you have for other possessions. It's not as cool as it sounds, because you still have to take the difference in the value, so you don't lose money that way, but you have to turn your possessions to cash and then dump the cash through plays of other actions. Here's some other central things that are important. Here's money. Here's the player order track. There'll be some player order bonuses. There's a Renaissance Man marker. Why you'd want to be the Renaissance Man, I don't know, but apparently it's helpful. And then you can end up with your markers down there. And some bonus tokens go on there. There's a lot of, wow, a lot of die cutting. That's the Renaissance Man. Some bonus markers, extra money, more possessions. These green things represent political party affiliations that you form little rectangles out of these, trying to match the tokens to ones on the other side. That tracks the votes, and you can see there's the starting votes for, well, I guess 2, it's all the way up 2, 3, 4, and 5 players if you're using the voting section. I think cards come out here. And, oh, this is for the using all 3 competitions, and that's for using 2 competitions. What the difference is, I'm not sure. Oh, there's 2 spaces for taking the cards from the center. Here's a bunch of coins, bonus moves, the people you're trying to get to hate you, and a lot of different possessions that you could have with the artwork. The artwork is familiar. I think the artwork is from Last Will largely, and it's actually beautiful and evocative of the period. You can see that having possessions also give you symbols. What makes the game interesting is that you have to build sets of the symbols to power certain actions. So you make some decisions there. And there are a lot of possessions, which is okay. Here's more of the political action things that you try to form into puzzles. Here's the weird things that will happen when your Lady Beatrice says nice things about you that you have to be careful of. These are the individual player boards. They basically hold up to 6 of certain of the cards that you collect. Some of the cards are permanent, some are one use, and this holds your permanent ones and shows whether you've actually activated them this turn or not, much like in Last Will if you played that. As you can see, all the artwork is very nice and evocative. I always think of this as the game of trying to be in the Drones Club for P.G. Woodhouse's novels. And Aunt Beatrice calling for Bertram. More player unfavorable things. Wow, there's some nice die cutting. And the rest of the player boards. There we go. Baggies, those are important. You can see here are the individual pieces. Basically, players get a marker for scores and top hats very nice looking, to represent the errand boys, their worker placement moves. And then there's a couple of, probably the turn marker. Knife is not included, but here's the cards. They're in a bag. Surprisingly enough, the cards are not in plastic. Very surprising. The way they're printed, of course, makes them look like they might have been used, but they have not been used. They're just packed this way. The cards are hilarious, gossip, unexpected relative, incident. So I think these are things that make you look bad. A ball, I think that costs money. A little more time. There's a mechanism to let you make something even worse by playing a little more time. These white bordered cards are the one-offs. 4-course meal. Oh, see, you can use, there you go, use a little bit more time to add to the expense. Save them up and cause some serious problems. Then there are cards that are permanent cards. Your valet costs you a coin every time you use him. Your broker, something happens. Financial advisor, same art. Friend in Westminster, apparently you get that symbol, then something else happens. Friend in Camden, different symbols. Oh, those are boroughs. Boroughs have something to do with moving around and losing money faster and depending on the borough. Broker, broker, broker. Reserve box, which is you lose a coin per symbol that you have that matches. Then there's some other terrible things you can do politically. Tea with Moriarty. That sounds like you could lose more than votes there, but... And, oh, the magistrate. I can just see Bertie's knocked somebody's top hat off, or maybe stolen a cop's helmet, and you're in trouble there. Election agent. Not a very good one. Drunken debater. That sounds good. Unusual pet. Those are expensive, of course. Your lawyer. Old chum. Garish suit. Now, any suit at all would be bad. Slanderous poster. A quote from Marx. That was always good for a laugh at that time. Treating at the pub. Apparently an ancient British election tradition that's always been in bad taste but popular with the voters. Anyway. Political commentary. Excellent. So the cards go on, and I think they're marked for which of the games they're in. And there are some cards that are actually multiple. They're in, well, there's a set of them with dual symbols. Anyway. But those are the components of the game. It looks like a lot of fun. Commentary I've seen said that this plays a little faster than Last Will, a little less fiddly, but still a lot going on. Less fiddly seems surprising with all the bits, but I guess they all hang together. So I look forward to giving it a play. I hope you liked this. If you did, you can check out my other unboxings, and I'll probably keep doing this because it's fast and fun. But I'll have them listed at my occasional blogging site and where I post other things at playboardgamesbetter.com. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.